In more ways than one, man.
Dude, I feel like I'm just getting bent over a fucking barrel. I keep saying that, like bent over a barrel, man. Some people like it, some people don't. I'm one of the motherfuckers that hate it.
Well, go ahead. Tell us what happened to you.
Dude, I wasn't supposed to go up to my site today, but I had to go to the lab and like refabricate something, like redesign something for an AC system that's I can't say a lot about it because I signed the NDA, but like a whole bunch of things and like new AC systems that cost like nearly nothing to run. And then like one of the projects that I managed went like is performing at risk. That means that they didn't turn all the paperwork they're supposed to for the government to fund it. So they're performing on their own dime right now, which is dangerous because they don't do what they're supposed to do or cost share like they're supposed to put up their part of the project money, then they award gets terminated. I just tell the dude hit a button and then they get no more money. And yeah. Are you chewing? I look fine, man. You good?
Good.
You good? Yeah, you can see yourself.
Yeah, you sound like you got a lot going on when it comes down to that Army stuff.
Yeah, Steve, he chewing chips.
No, it wasn't the Army today. The Army was fine.
Was it your wife?
Mm-hmm. You're not going to be laughing in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
No, you're not going to be laughing in a minute.
Wait, what happened?
The Army did me good today. So we're not doing PT right now like normal.
Mm-hmm.
So I get to go train in the mornings and shit. And so now all my mornings are nice and relaxing. I take some nice cold brew coffee with me, go train a little bit. Out the door. I think I have to work like 8:45. And I stayed in my just gym clothes till like probably 12:30 or something like that.
Damn.
And I was coming out of the bathroom and I get a call from Jess saying some dude hit her on the highway.
Oh, okay.
And I was like,
I thought you were talking about a head. Like,
yeah, I was like, why are you not in prison right now?
Hold up.
And I was like, so, all right, where are you? Got to do the whole thing. Get to the car. And for whatever reason, the fucking GPS, like she sent me her location. I followed the GPS. But I think that it's at her school on the east side of San Antonio. But she is up in the northwest side, up by our place, not too far from our house. So I have to go and like do like a whole double back system around BAMC to get on the right side of the highway and head the right way. And so the whole time Jess was shaken up, but she was like, I'm not injured or hurt. But I don't know if the airbags went off. I didn't know if Jess like hit the steering wheel or anything like that.
Oh, shit.
But I was just like, hey, calm down. Do this. Call the cops. Tell them X, Y, and Z. Do all the things, right? So the car that hit her pushed her into another car. Mm-hmm. And that dude is out of his car, like at Jess's window, you know, talking to her, kind of being like, hey, are you okay? But he clearly does not speak English as a first language. So I'm like, oh, well, here we go. Fuck. Shit. And I can hear him on the phone. But Jess tells me the guy that hit her drove off. So I'm like, bro,
that's a felony.
Fuck.
You just got an easy felony.
So Jess said it's like stop and go traffic. I know the exact exit and everything. And it's basically just like it takes the interstate that's coming north-south, and then it splits into a circular highway that goes around the city. But at that one point is the beginning for this portion of the town to either split and go west or go east and do like the whole circle around the city. So the group of people, I guess, just in front of her, whatever, normal stop and go traffic type stuff, she hits her brakes and she's probably like, I don't know, she's a safe driver. She's probably like 5 feet from the guy. Dude behind her, she says that she sees him in the rear view, just like, oh, he's not going to stop. This is back end of our brand new car.
Oh, you just got the car too?
Yeah. No, we got the car like last July, but yeah, brand new.
Yeah, relatively new. That's crazy.
Yeah. That's no dings, no nothing.
But she's okay, right?
She's good, but we ended up. So when I get there, first of all, the cops like, we're getting a call that the car that matches. First of all, Jess was amazing. She had the look and description of the guy, like kind of complexion, fat
Pulled
dude,
out that
beard.
pad, started drawing his face.
Then
Yeah.
she goes, it's a blue Toyota Camry, or no, Corolla. She's like, it looked beat up already. And I was like, oh, here I was fucking like slightly worried.
Yeah.
You got it under
You got
control.
the whole
Yeah.
thing. But the cop's like, so like when you go up on the on-ramp, which is like the exit, and it splits off across the city, there's some dude at the bottom of the other, like of the ramp. He went all the way over and then got to the other side on the highway. And he's now on a different highway system, but he's parked and called the cops to report being in an accident. Didn't tell the cop making it seem like this guy didn't say that he caused one. So the cop's like, we don't know for sure if that's the guy. Obviously, like you guys could go down there and try to identify him, but then
Probably not.
It,
Don't do
you know,
that.
whatever. And so like we're like, no, like there's a cop down there, like it'll get handled, and then we'll just call and see what San Antonio PD has to say about it. But then we had to go. The EMTs were like, hey, like it'd be a good idea for you to go to your general hospital that you guys are planning to deliver at, and just have them do like a once over. So we go to BAMC, and then BAMC first Jess doesn't tell me this, but we go into the whatchamacallit, the delivery. What is it called?
Not NICU.
It's not. Well, yeah, it's like the same area as the NICU, but it's actually
That's
like the delivery room.
The OBGYN area.
No, so we went to OBGYN. They sent us upstairs to the actual like delivery area, but I forget. There's a name that covers that whole ward. And they actually put her in a delivery room, and then they strap her up with all the stuff. And I came in, I was just sitting down, and I was like, okay, like, you know, at some point doctor will come in. It was like 45 minutes later, I was like, how long did they say that you were going to be here? And she was like, oh, they said, like, depending on the severity of accidents, like, they hold you from 1 to 4 hours or up to 24 hours. And I was like, bro, what?
What the fuck?
And I was like, we haven't eaten lunch, and it's like 1:30. I was like, God damn it.
You thinking about eating? She's like, is this baby?
Both of us were. Because I went downstairs to the basement of BAMC, because that's normally that's where like most Army feeding facilities are in hospitals. Dude, they have a whole ass Burger King in the basement where there's no windows.
Let's go.
There's just a hidden fucking Burger King in military hospitals.
Let's go.
So that was my afternoon, and now I'm trying to deal with like getting this car eventually fixed. But like, I was super happy with the way Jess handled everything. I was just on the way there, clearly speeding and clearly like going out of my way to kind of drive disorderly. And then I was kind of like, at what point, if I see the person that hit her and like tried to drive off, like if I saw a car on the other side of the highway, like parked over and it looked all smashed up, it's like, do I just drive by Jess in the accident and just go beat somebody's ass and then just throw it in reverse, just on the off ramps and come back? But I don't know. So who do we have on here today? Ken, go ahead and introduce him, or Quan, you can introduce yourself.
Yeah, let Quan introduce himself. He's here. He's present.
Oh, okay. Cool. I just host this thing. Hello, everyone. I'm Marquan Jones, CrossFit owner, part owner, CrossFit Roseland, New Jersey, 2018 Games athlete, and just a consistent competitor, pretty much semis, sanctional, regionals, whenever they had it at one point, but trying to make a trip back to the 2000 to games here pretty soon, before I have to hang up the tri-base reins, which is the Under Armour shoes. So CrossFit Games athlete, competitor, part owner of a gym, and a chill, cool dude, I guess you could say.
Oh yeah, we were down at TBO, and I was like, this is my first time seeing this man in real life. I was like, man, he's just as big as me. Bullshit. He looks like he's big as me, but he don't weigh as much. Fuck.
No way. No way, dude. I'm way small. I'm like probably one of the smaller athletes in the field, to be honest with you, far as like weight wise, in proportion, actually, because a lot of those dudes about probably like 205, around 5'7", 5, and I'm about 6 foot, but I weigh 196, 195. So yeah, you a big dude, nah, man. Instagram got you.
Ken looks like a D1 athlete, but
I'm not. Well, I used to be.
Like you're built like a fucking defensive end. You're just shorter than a defensive end.
That's a fact for sure.
I wish I had played football.
Whatever.
I wish you were like 3 to 4 inches taller. You'd be in the NFL.
Highly possible. Just based off how you look, to be honest.
Dude, I was in Denver. Me and Tam.
You look like on my player mode for Madden.
Man, fuck you. I was in Denver like 3 weeks ago, and then someone was like, "Oh, who? Like, I think I know you." I'm like, "I don't think you do." And they're like, "No, you play football here, right?" I'm like, "No." They're like,
Yes,
"No, you do play for the Broncos."
Yes,
I'm like,
do.
"No, the
Go
fuck
ahead
I
and
don't."
throw this on my tab. The name is Von Miller.
Well, how you gonna tell me what I do? They telling you that you play football.
Shit, you should have called yourself Russell Wilson. Somebody probably would have believed you.
No, not with this hair. Not with this hair, man.
Let me ask a quick question. You guys are both African American men. Does Russell Wilson does he come off as more of a white dude playing black or a black dude playing white?
That's a great question.
Because Russell Wilson has been made fun of consistently for the fact that he and Sierra seem to live the authentic life, and they seem to look like they're trying to live like the power couple life, but he does like a lot of white guy shit, and it blows people away.
I honestly don't know enough about what he do, nor do I know him that much. So
hold on, let me.
I don't know. I really don't care as long as he doing his thing. That's all that matters, you know.
I'm gonna go with this. You guys remember Chappelle's show, right? And they did the racial draft.
Oh my god,
he would have got traded. If we're being honest, based on Chappelle's show statistics.
Yeah. Okay, first of all, I just want to mention something. I'm going to show you a different picture after this, but notice the one kid in the white jersey. Do you know who that kid is?
No, but he don't look like he's Russell's.
Nope, that's Future's kid.
God.
But notice that he's the only one wearing, and the back of the jersey says fucking Future.
Oh, damn.
But it's number 3. But that kid, there's a picture of that kid with his mom and 2 siblings the other siblings are Russ's kids. And he looks pissed. Like he's at the stepdad's practice that he never wanted to be at. And I was like, there's a reason why he's in all white and not in orange like everybody else.
But what are the odds?
He might not like his stepdad.
But like, I wonder how when you have that much money, how like that dynamic goes with your family. Like, I'm pretty sure
because Future got a lot of money too. You know,
that's what I'm saying.
But I don't think he technically has Russell Wilson money anymore because Russell Wilson got
he's still working pretty good. Future, you talking about?
Yeah, he's still making music.
This is one of the other things that people said was kind of him like playing the white dude kind of thing. That's his truck.
What the hell is that?
That's
I think it's a Dodge Ram, probably a 2019, but it looks almost like a fucking zombie type.
Yeah,
is absolutely. But people were making fun of him because he showed up to training camp wearing his own jersey.
That's just don't do that.
Yeah.
And not to mention, he also showed up driving a truck. That truck right there is easily $150K minimum. With all those add-ons and all that stuff. But they're like, the tread on the tires don't even look like they haven't hit anything but pavement. You would expect a truck like that to be just driven everywhere. And they're like, isn't this some like hick-ass white boy country shit? And I was I don't want to hate on
black boys that I'm
Say it again.
My brother got a big truck and it's lifted.
Really?
I mean, I think that's a southern thing, to be honest with you.
Oh, it's definitely a southern thing.
Dude, I'm
but I don't know about Russell though. Russell
Wilson, that truck screams Colorado to me, but it screams the western slope. It screams I have oil money from mom and dad, and I blew it all on this truck. That grill, the whole front bumper alone, is like $50K.
But it's highly possible though, right? Isn't his parents like aren't they an interracial couple?
Let's find out real quick. So. That's why we got the beauty of internet.
Oh, wait a second. Ken, what I need you to pull up very fast before you pull that up. Pull it up on just a different tab. Russell Wilson's, I think it might be his first wife. Have you guys seen this? There's Russell Wilson's first wife NFL draft. and just look at the picture.
Oh God, I'm gonna pull this up. Oh my God.
This picture, I think Quan's gonna scream when he sees it.
No,
It's not that. It's not that one. It's not that one. It's no. It was down just a little bit, right there, just
right
below
here?
that. No, below, to the right.
Oh, right here. Oh shit! She look like she just hit the jackpot, dog. Look at that face.
She's like, we rich, bitch.
She's like, we rich, honk honk.
I don't know if that is better, or have you guys seen the video of CD Lamb when he was drafted?
Oh yeah,
his girlfriend like looked at the phone that he was texting on.
He was like, "You better give me my phone back."
And she clearly saw something that she wasn't supposed to, and he just like snatched the phone right back out of her hand. But then the wild thing was his mom looks at her with just disgust. Just like, girl, you should have fucking known not to put your hands there.
You should know better than that.
Yeah, you don't want to find out shit you don't want to know.
Well, she was also kind of like, I think she doesn't think that girl's good enough for her son, but that's all mom's thing.
She's pretty enough.
But he got drafted by the Dallas Cowboys. It was at that moment that they're like, nah, honey, you're not good enough.
No, man. I'm going to backtrack 2 subjects. You say you're trying to get back to the games, Quan.
Oh, we're getting off this wildness.
We're gonna hit this wildness real quick. I remember the conversation we had, when we were at TBO and everything. Like, seeing all these people pop.
Right.
What's your opinion?
The hell with them. Honestly, I feel like it's gotten to the point now to where guys feel like they losing the core value of hard work. Now, granted, while you still on it, I guess you can still work hard while you're on it. But at the end of the day, recovery is the name of this game. And if you got an edge, then you're gonna be on top. Now, my honest opinion is I feel like the ones that got popped is always the ones that's the low hanging fruit. I feel like it's a lot more guys that's out there that's doing stuff that's way at the top of the chain. And nor can I, obviously they haven't gotten popped. So I can't point too many fingers, but based off things that I've heard, throughout me being in the sport for almost 10 years, I feel like it's a lot more guys at the top of the chain that's doing some stuff, and they got great doctors and a good cover up, I guess you could say.
You remember what I told you at TBO about that Phil Toon, and you were like, "No, man, yeah." You're like, "Yeah, no, maybe," and I was like, "No, I promise you, that's a thing." And yeah.
No. To be honest with you, at Granite Games when I saw him, whenever we did that Minnesota mashup, the workout was like
the sled push.
No, not the sled push. It was the 50 wall balls, the GHDs, the 50 wall balls, double unders. It was like a huge chipper. It was a lot of wall balls. Anyway, it's like 10 wall balls going up to 50 and then 50 down to that workout right there.
Yeah, that one.
And it was a 25-minute time count. I believe he finished that workout in 16 minutes.
That's crazy.
Look it up. And I think the next person, it was like 16 minutes and some change. The guy was done and he didn't even look tired. I mean, he might played it a little bit, but I don't know what the second place time was, but I'm pretty sure like he beat like a good bit of us by a huge gap of time. And I was just like, man, that just don't seem natural to me for sure.
That's crazy.
For workouts, when you have like a 25-minute time cap at an elite level, that would normally signify that the first place guy, unless it's just like the easiest events is right in their wheelhouse, that maybe they blow it out by like 5 to 7 minutes, but it would normally signify somebody's going to finish past the 20-minute mark. Somebody maybe a hair shy of that, but a majority are going to finish roughly 2 minutes before the time cap because it's just enough time for you to look bad or look really good.
I can't remember my time on it specifically, but I was pretty quick. We were all pretty fast, but whenever you look at the margin was just a huge gap from his time to the next.
But
person.
I mean, in a 25-minute workout, 9 whole minutes is like you finished 9 minutes before the time cap. That either it wasn't programmed properly, or you just broke the program.
Yeah, or even like when you get to a point to where at this level or the next level, you beat a guy by 10 to 20 seconds. That's a long time, just because everybody's just on top of it.
That's like 6-7 reps.
Right. And then when you beat the guy by 2 minutes, that's like crazy to me, especially at a high level. So I feel like that right there was something that was just, let's look at that.
Like 6 minutes, that's like
possibly
like 2 rounds in most workouts.
Oh, it was 17:07.
He beat everybody by 2 minutes almost. Look at that, except for
besides Brent. Yeah, he got everybody by like and Brent's really good at stuff like that.
Yeah.
He's just methodical, smart, a master at that game, at that craft. That would have been a first place for Brent. So, man, all those guys were super fast, but I thought his time was a little bit less, 16 minutes, but he crushed that.
I mean, if he hit 17:25, way more believable.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. That's insane. I watched that and I was like, man, whoever got put in Granite Games that hadn't been to the games the previous year was pretty much assed out, because you had let me see. I'm gonna count this.
6 or 7, maybe even 8 of us games athletes in there.
Yeah. So like Brent's been in the games, Travis a 1, 2, 3, 4.
Zoom in.
And it was just one guy, Chandler, myself. I mean, it's a bunch of us.
So I gotta say, Leo Franco finished 1 place in front of Chandler Smith.
Yeah.
As much as I love Leo, as I really like him, and I think he's going to be great. Chandler Smith, like, just to know how strong he is physically, I don't know if it says more about Leo or it says more about Chandler. That those two are right there at 10 and 11.
I heard Chandler just didn't have a good weekend. What? Ken, you said asthma was up.
Like some type of respiratory thing, because I think he got COVID like a month or 2 before, and that long COVID will do you in real bad. And,
I mean, I guess.
Yeah.
I can't speak on that. All we can look at is the numbers. You know what I mean?
Quan, you finished 14th?
Yeah. And then, Leo put in work, and that was another newcomer that I was pretty impressed with.
Would you say that it was a little bit of like gifted wheelhouse workouts for him, or would you say that he just surprised a lot of people and did really well in a lot of things?
Just because I don't know what style athlete he is. You know what I mean? If I knew he was, for me, at the end of the day, I feel like Granite Games was more power outputs type stuff. Mm-hmm. So maybe he is a better power output athlete than anything else. But I haven't seen him enough to know his style of play. So,
I would say now, even if you if you follow him or watch his videos, he's a guy who he's what, like 190, 195?
187.
Wow. Oh, shit. And I mean, he's what, squat clean like 350?
Yeah, on a regular basis.
So, I mean, for a dude, that's almost twice his weight.
He's definitely strong. I've seen that. I guess you could say he's a powerful, strong guy,
But like when you first look at him, like so many people say, like when you see a CrossFitter in normal clothing walking down the street, you're like, oh, normal guy, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
I mean, Leo, good on you, man. Nobody's gonna see you coming, but fuck them up when
Shout out to him.
Yeah, that's hard. Like I don't know how y'all do that, man. Like I've been doing this for 3 years now, and I'm still like amazed. Working on year 4, and I'm like, damn, how the fuck do y'all do that volume of stuff in like 2 days? Like that's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. Whenever you go to a competition, though, those are honestly just tests, though. So whenever you compete in 2 workouts a day, is like way lighter than what training has to offer. Mm-hmm. I know for me, I do an AM session. My AM session is just like all cardio, and then my PM session is the bulk of the work, to where I got a strength, a metcon, I'm working skill, I'm doing accessory work. So it's the longer piece. Mm-hmm. It's a longer session, and then you do that throughout weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. By the time you get to game day, you'll be prepared for it, because of the volume is not as high on game day as it is with normal training. So, and that's training smart at the same time.
Training smart. I told you that before we even started the podcast. I was like, man, I feel like I'm not doing enough. Like, fuck, like what am I doing wrong? I got mobility issues too, but like that's still like watching you do stuff at TBO and then do stuff with us. during TBO, except for that burpee month. Dude, that fucking workout was terrible. That
Yeah,
EMOM,
bro. Yeah.
Do you think you would have finished that?
I actually did it when he first did it. That's why we called it the initiation. And I didn't finish it. I had to take 2 minutes off. The only person that finished, I think, was Mal at that time. And she was finishing in like 37. You talk about the burpee thruster, EMOM we did. She was finishing like 38, 42 seconds every time.
How do you?
She was destroying it. She was destroying it. She like thrusters.
But do you think this sport is built for tiny people?
Man, I think this sport is made for all shapes and sizes. It's just it favors some in certain workouts and it favors some in others. Like for example, like you're a stronger, bigger athlete, and if I told you to, hey, let's do a squat clean, you'll tear that up. But then if I tell you to go, let's do 30 muscle ups for time or whatever, that the case might be a little bit different. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I feel like that's why I like the sport so much, because you got to work your best to be a well-rounded athlete. But at the end of the day, like some things are going to play in your favor and some things aren't. But you also got to know how to maintain or manage, I guess, the damage if it's something that you're not that good at. So
damage control.
That's what a lot of guys get. You look at it. Besides like Matt and Tia, they are dominant. When they coming in first in all semifinal events for Tia, and then in the past, Matt winning those are your anomalies. But for the most part, nobody just wins first place all the time. It's either a second. They stay in the top 10. And I guess they're not the best at everything, but they definitely efficient at everything.
Yeah.
So that's really the name of the game. You got to try to be well rounded as possible.
And you were at the games of 2018, right? Or was it 2017?
2018. Yeah, 2018 was the last year of regionals, and I feel like that's the best qualification process going into it.
So you think the semifinals thing is like, stick it back to regionals?
I would love to get back to regionals. Realistically, I don't know how that'll happen. I don't know the finances, first off, with CrossFit, but I feel like they're pulling in a lot of money with semifinals and with the open registration, and they also pulling in a lot of money with the quarterfinals now. So I feel like it's definitely affordable, but again, I don't know their finances. But I feel like the test all across the board was something that was non-biased towards certain athletes, and CrossFit programming, the same test for every athlete at all regionals was a brilliant idea. But when you go to different semifinals, the workouts are completely different. I may have done better in a Mid-Atlantic, and somebody else may have done better in Granite. You know what I mean? You just can't really figure out that because the tests are so different.
Yeah, that's what I was arguing with Steve about like 3 podcasts ago. I can't remember when we were talking about it, but remember we were talking about, Steve, like how every semifinal programs everything differently. Like they have different workouts, but CrossFit was like smart, and they went, all right, we're going to give you 2 or 3 workouts that were the same: barbell complex, rope climb, shuttle sprint thing. And what was the third one? That wasn't a third. I think it was only 2 workouts per semifinal. But like, if you look at it, you did something like 200 and something odd squats at Granite Games, but at Syndicate they didn't do as much squatting as was done at Granite Games. It's kind of weird. Like, it's kind of unfair and biased. I think that like you could leave the setting up of like the finances and all that for each semifinal to the semifinal, but like when it comes to programming, those 2 people or 1 person needs to go across all those semifinals and program the same workout. So there's no question at all,
Right. That you're getting fair tests across all boards.
Yeah.
But then again, like that's the whole point of a semifinal pan CrossFit, to hold the CrossFit name, is they want that control to program their own workouts, I guess you could say. So,
but some like Atlas Games didn't make any money. They went in the hole. They went in debt because nobody showed up to it. One, and then second, like I was talking to Rashad about it day before yesterday, and they had 1 Subway in the whole venue. That was the only place you could eat at.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Yeah, that was it.
And that's probably on the director's fault for choosing a pretty poor venue, or maybe it was a good venue. It just wasn't thought out in that perspective. But yeah, that's all interesting to me, just because the responsibility is up to the director in that particular area, but like, I don't even know if they're getting any guidance. Are they getting any guidance from CrossFit?
I don't think, as far as programming, I don't think so.
No, not even programming, but just how to like.
No, they got so they got for sure. They definitely got 2 workouts per.
No, I'm talking about like how to run an event. Like, I mean, I know some of these guys probably they like ran an event, but
that
something that's magnitude, you know, something that's a magnitude. Because you got to think about it. It was hard for half of those athletes to even get to Canada. Well, I know for the guys coming from America there, so nobody from America is traveling to Canada, so you're losing money there. And then when you do finally pick a venue, like Canada was so strict with these COVID rules, from what I'm hearing, that it was just like hard for them to do anything, even if they could do. I mean, it's like hard for them to do stuff. So I don't know. At the end of the day, it was like it seemed easier for Canadian athletes to come to America. They should have just brought that to America, and that's not. I mean, I don't know how that works logistic wise or whatever, but I feel like it'd have been easier that way.
I would have assumed that somebody in Canada probably was backing a financial backer of that, or they thought that it was going to bring in money, so they allowed them to use the venue for less money. But I mean, I don't know. Canada might be a lost cause at this point.
I think so, because they got
they might be going.
It didn't do well for them. And then when you think about it, like Mal was supposed to be there. That athletes bring a draw, and I guess nobody wanted to really see Pat. I don't know, but that's the only athlete. So it's just like they didn't have really many high name athletes there to where it was like worth it to go there, and I think that's what hurt them a little bit as well.
Because I try to look at it objectively, like as objectively as I can. Like I try to look at everything objectively, and looking at it from an objective standpoint. If you and Leo and Chandler had went to Atlas, regardless if it was a bad weekend or a good weekend, your chances were higher because there was like very few. I think so. I'm like, hear me out.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you.
Because there wasn't a big pool of games athletes. Like that just wasn't the case, and that's not fair to. I don't want to say fair. That wasn't equal across the board for every semifinal.
Hey, you know who you sound like, Ken?
Who?
A bitch.
Fuck you.
First of all, this isn't about being fair.
It is. It is at the end of the day. Like when you think about it.
But when you give it up based to who gets put into what bracket, they obviously allow you to choose. Like you get invited to pretty much all of them. And then everybody was like, "Oh, hey, I'm gonna go to Granite Games," or "Hey, I'm gonna go."
Ask Quan. That ain't how it works.
You had no choice.
It's random.
No, you had no choice. They put you where they wanted to. Now, granted, I don't know how much pull some of these athletes have, but I would only assume the higher athletes, as far as Mal, she had pull, I guess, because whatever happened there happened there. I don't know. I can't speak on that. But
I mean, if she was supposed to go to Atlas in Canada, if she's like, "Oh, I don't have a passport." Okay, we can't send you there. We can't make you get one.
I mean, you can't do anything about that. So I guess that's not even really a pool thing. It's just like not possible for her to go there. Zero chance. But if I wanted to say, hey, I don't want to go here because I think I want to go to Atlas, they would have told me no, probably.
Yeah, they would have, because like your name doesn't sit, like you're not a Noble sponsor athlete. I mean, granted, you got Under Armour, but like Noble is a title sponsor of the games. Like I think that how they see people in these different events needs to be public as fuck. Like there needs to be 100% transparency. Just like when we vote for president or like whomever for office.
That's not transparent.
No, you don't. Yeah. It's somewhat like, hear me out. Goddamn, Steve, hear me out. Like it's to the point where you know how many votes went this way and how many votes went that way. You know what the popular vote was. You know what the electoral college stuff was. Like, you know that. Like, you guys don't know that. You know, from what I understand and what I know from talking to Leo is, all right, you can rank order. You go, I want to go to this, this, this. Cool. If you don't get any of those 3 choices, you get fucking, West Coast class.
Last year. This year, they didn't even do that.
They didn't even do that?
No, this year they were like, what are the reasons you can't go to a semifinals? Whatever one, that was what I got. Maybe he got something different. Last year when I had this semifinals in MAC, they gave us a listing order, and they were like, which ones do you want to go to? And I chose MAC. I chose pretty much everything that was close to me is what I chose last year. This year, they were just like, we're not doing whatever that this time around. So we are going to go with the reasons why you can't go. So I was like, I can't go to Canada just because, one, I think my passport was about to expire as well. So like you can't travel, I think, within the 6 months of a expired passport. So I was like, all right, can't do that. So I said I can't go to Canada simply because my passport is about to be expired.
Yeah.
And I didn't go to Canada. But when you look at the leaderboard and you see me, Chandler, Samuel Quant, a lot of those other guys, like how did they even seed it? Like, do they just close their eyes and pick random people?
I mean, that would be the best way to do it.
Like it wasn't even a legit seeding. Like if you look at the quarterfinals, it was like they put 1, 2, 3 in one, and then they skipped a couple
or syndicate. Sorry, yeah,
right. Like it just didn't even look like a normal seeding. Like if you normal seeded, your normal
top
seeding
and bottom, work your way to the middle.
Exactly. Yeah. So it was just like I can't figure out how they did it. So obviously they picking and choosing who they want to go where. So you can't even say that's fair, right? if they picking and choosing.
No, at that point it's not fair. But I think to a certain extent they definitely look at where you are. If you're in North America, you stay in North America. They're not sending a lot of, if any, North Americans down to Australia or over to Europe because they can't assume that you have to A, have a passport, and B, have the ability to make that travel.
But we were in the North America region.
But then if you have the MAC and then you have Syndicate Crown and then you have the Granite Games, it's like, hey, those are 3, which pretty much anywhere from as long as you're in the States, you can make it to either one of those. But what I was saying about it being fair or not fair is more or less kind of, I don't think it's about being fair. I think it's like the games when they said, hey, we're going to make cuts this year. And then a bunch of athletes who were like, oh, I'm a perennial games athlete. Like I'll have nothing to worry about.
I got my qualms against that too. But when you show up to the games, right? Like if you go out and you watch those mayhem videos on YouTube, like I always do, right? You can tell those guys are different because they literally train everything all the time, and nobody gets to go up to Rich or anybody else and be like, "But I don't think we'll ever see this." It's like, no, you child, sit up or shut up, do what the fuck we tell you to do. Because one day it's going to be like that. And you're going to get something that you shouldn't get or you don't think you should get, and you're going to have to deal with it anyways. And I think just like with the cuts, a bunch of people show up and they're like, hey, you expect me to just like have my best event right now? And they're like, if you're a perennial games athlete, yeah, fucking show up and do the thing that you are paid to do and do it well because that's the same shit Michael Jordan was paid to do. I get that. But at the same time, like the same exact time, you have to realize that you are programming things that are supposed to be unknowable and, subject to change.
Those workouts, the first time they made cuts were not very hard.
Yeah, well, shit, they looked hard. But
you and I could have gone toe to toe with those dudes on that row in the kettlebell, push press, and then handstand walk.
But half the press workout, handstand walk, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you ask me, can I row with those guys? Probably not. But if I was like, hey, if I got to sell myself for one fucking workout my entire life just to have a good story, and I'm at this game, I'm from fucking East Africa, I'm at a gym, the only one in my entire nation, but I just so happen to fucking be here. I will sell my fucking left nut to beat Brett Bukowski across that line.
More likely,
beat it.
More than likely, you selling your left nut will probably not be good enough. You're right. So that's the thing. I feel like most of those athletes will prevail, the guys that's supposed to be at the top. But we got to look at the range of tests going into a big cut. So if you say, all right, you're going to get cut after the first workout and you can't snatch 185, you can't run a 400 efficiently, you can't do a rope climb. Okay, you got a good amount of strength, cardio, and gymnastics in there. And then if you go on and on to where by the time they did the serious cuts with the big time games athletes, but they hadn't done one thing with strength in it. Yep. You make your biggest cut and then you do a clean and jerk ladder to where maybe some of those guys would have probably got saved if you would have did it.
Yeah, it was a one rep max clean. Yeah.
Right. If you would have did a true strength
because once you do the clean ladder, you make another cut, you're cutting any leftover fat, but you cut a huge chunk of fat the first round. But now if like I said, if that one person from some random ass country shows up and they don't clean 340, right? Yes, they're going to get cut as well. But I don't see it as unfair for them to get cut prior to that event or during that event.
I'll tell you how. I'll tell you, give you an example of how CrossFit learned. They're only doing one cut this year on Saturday. That's it. After the broadcast.
Yeah, and I agree with the cuts though. I'm not gonna lie to you. I agree with the cuts. By the end of the weekend, we get to a point where the last 10 guys, they won't be able to make up any ground to make a push for the podium. And I got to a point where on the last day, I was like, I'm just here now to to finish this because I think I finished in like 30-something place. So I agree with cuts there because it's like nothing else you could do. Points are way too far out. Now
I don't necessarily agree with like when they made those cuts that those people just like went home after a day. I thought that was a little shitty because like you know how much hard work goes into that.
How much money to get there.
But it's a money grab though. That was a money grab though.
But I will say everybody that year asked for inclusion of all gyms. Even the athletes were like, hey, we need more representation across the world. They got it. But then they started to realize the rest of the world is not like the US, Canada, Australia, and the UK. Sorry.
Yeah.
Like it's just
but it was a money grab. It was a money grab.
It was. But at least they programmed CrossFit classic movements in like couplet or triplet and then technically another triplet. But at least it was like, we're not going to do something super uber duper crazy like the fucking obstacle course.
Correct.
With a weighted vest.
It was fair. And you know what? That year I tested. I went to Cali. Dave Castro called me and was like, hey, I want you to test the games workouts for 2019. I tested all of those workouts before everybody did it. That workout was originally 4 rounds, 4 cut rope climbs, 4 squat snatches at 225, and a 400-meter run. That would have ate people up.
Oh, that would have hurt
up.
And you know who still would have fucking won, though?
Say it again.
You know who still would have won? Matty Frey still would have taken that clean.
100%. I mean, Matt was not going nowhere. No, to be honest with you, but towards the end of that workout, I think was it Patrick Vellner?
Yeah, it was Patrick Vellner. He failed. He only fell on his knees.
Exactly. So by the end of that workout, I don't know.
They also had a shitty made field that year too. Do you remember the turf was like on a platform?
Yeah.
So like wasn't even the ground.
It was crazy, man. That year they had so many people there, they just didn't.
They would have had to try to make a new whole like area for the games, like a new competition platform.
But that's the thing, like I as much as I hated like the shit that Dave wrote because it was painful, like even for the Open, because that's the only place that I've ever been, like them getting rid of him was a terrible mistake.
Yeah.
Like that was because one, he had a military mindset where like literally from somebody that's been in the Army and been planning at like high levels, you do things that he rehearsed and he literally put things in paper and he tested them over and over and over and over again. He had you guys come out there, test. And it wasn't just people that were on the seminar staff that tested these things. It was all of y'all athletes that have been there before.
Right.
And like, I feel like they lost that with the last games. They completely lost that piece of it.
Thing too. Whenever I went to Cali, Dave was just so particular about everything. He was like, they're going to be snatching on turf. So let's get a strip of turf out here. I want you guys to practice this on turf. We're going to use a cut rope, and it's going to be slightly a half an inch thicker, but we're not going to tell anybody that on a rope climb. So then some guys out there, their rope climb is normally like 1 1/4, but this time it was like 1 3/4. You know what I mean? Just a little bit bigger than what you normally used to. Mm-hmm. And he was very particular about it. And his dedication to the game and programming was by far what I loved about him. Or liked about him. Now, was he my favorite guy personality-wise? I wouldn't say he was, but the man was good at his job, and I tell people that all the time. He was really good at his job.
A lot of people forget that not only was he a Navy SEAL, he was a BUD/S instructor, and that takes a certain type of person to do that job because you have to be good at breaking down every scenario to its absolute minute details and then attacking each one of those details, which is, I'm assuming, why he's so good at programming for the games and why, like you said, he asked for a certain length of rope. He asked to make sure that there is turf, and then he made sure that the rest of everything else was exactly to his description. And then if it's not, the workout in his mind fails. It just doesn't meet the standards. I have a question for both of you. If you haven't seen both of their programming, don't feel free to necessarily say whatever, but Rich Froning or Dave Castro's programming, which one do you think is more, I don't want to say elegant necessarily, but just like...
Well, Marquan did Mayhem Classic, so let him go first.
I'm gonna have to go with Dave. I like what Rich have to offer, but he does it, and this is just my personal opinion. He does it in sneaky volume, and he almost like isolate muscle groups.
Who, Dave or Rich?
Rich.
Okay.
To where, like, for example, I believe we did a handstand walk, dumbbell squat snatch workout, but the dumbbell squat snatch workout was like super heavy.
Yeah.
But it was just like shoulders, overhead, shoulders, overhead. Like, all right, cool, I get it. It was another workout that we did. It was like heavy dubs and rope climbs. It was like grip. All right, I get it. And then we did this long chipper workout that was just like midline. So he does workouts in a way to where you got to be really, muscular endurance have to be there in all muscle groups because he's going to attack it. The thing with Dave is Dave had and I don't, like I said, I wasn't a huge fan of his personality, but I love the guy when it came down to his programming. Dave was a guy that, like, it was no biases at all. Yeah. He didn't get on social media, as you can see. Well, he was on social media, but he wasn't like looking at other people's programming, trying to figure out what was going on. He was just the type of person that, like, whatever he felt, whatever he felt or whatever he wanted to do, he would do it, and he would try to keep it as non-biased as possible. That's why you had a lot of athletes that didn't excel in everything because it was almost like a curveball whenever they got out there.
Yeah, he was really good at figuring out what you weren't doing.
Exactly.
Because he like I said, as an instructor, he was very good at, like, just like one of the things you would do as an instructor is might not, like, there's a time for yelling and like breaking people down, corrective action, that kind of stuff. But there's another time where, kind of, if you remember in basic training, where like the drill sergeants almost start to seem like they're being friendly,
like people, like humans.
Yes, right. But there's a part of that where they're more quiet, they're more reserved, they fold their arms and watch more than they open their mouth and yell.
Yeah, like,
and then they just sit there.
Like the best place I ever seen that done was when I went to SFAS in 2014. Well, no, 2015. It was either go to SFAS or go Green and Gold. So I did both of them, took my shot. And I remember being at SFAS. No, I mean, it's what it is. It's an experience. Shit. I remember being at SFAS and sitting there in that fucking pit of tire chips and fucking pieces of wood, picking up a log, and I threw up. And he was like, "You gotta throw up outside the box." I was like, "Okay." I threw up outside the box, came back, and I just doing burpees over this fucking log, and I stopped. And he looked at me, like, one of the instructors looked at me, got down on one knee. He's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I'm like, I think I'm dying. He's like, "This isn't even close to what you think dying is." And I was like, "Yeah, you're right." And I got up and kept going. And like, I all they would do, there was one dude yelling things occasionally, but like 4 other dudes sitting back there with like these little writing rain notebooks, just writing shit down, just looking. And then all of a sudden they would get together and talk, and they'd be like, "All right, go start running." And you just start running, and you're like, "Dear God, when am I going to stop running?"
But by like the end of the day or the next day, you're like, "All right, somebody gets yelled at for having their boots not tied properly because they noticed during the burpees that your boots are coming undone."
Yeah, like stupid shit like that.
"Hey man, your belt probably isn't the right size. Your pants are the wrong size." And you're like, that's what the fuck you were paying attention to the entire time we were doing that?
Yeah.
Like, I'm working my ass off for 7 hours, and you want to know what size underwear I have to make sure I'm not chasing?
Or it was like one point, I think in Ranger School, we were doing mound phase, and like they put we were so delirious, we didn't really know where we were at, because like we essentially ate 2 MREs in like a week and a half. I think like 2 MREs was about it. And like, yeah, it was bad. And like we got so delirious walking up the hill. Like, I don't remember feeling my legs. Like, from the neck down, I couldn't feel it anymore. It was so cold. I was so tired. They took rope and fed it through our shoulder straps of our rucks to keep us together. And I remember having an argument with a tree. Like, bro, I'm sitting there like, why are we going this way? Da da da. And I'm like, no, like, this is the wrong way. And the instructor's like, what are you doing? I'm like, this motherfucker right here doesn't know what he's doing. Da da da. He's like, do you know who you're talking to? I'm like, yeah, like such and such. Like, this is a lieutenant. It's like such and such. He's like, no. He's like, no, that's a tree. And I went, oh fuck.
Yeah, you were done, dude.
I was done,
man, I'm
mentally done. But like, that's when they knew. Then they would go, all right, cool. Everybody get set up a OP. Not OP, but
360.
Yeah, just 360 security and just sit there. That was our rest. We just sat there and just kind of, this is where we are. This is what we're doing. Cool. This is happening. All right, now start walking again, and we go the other day, like over a mountain, like legit. I didn't know Georgia had mountains until then, and I was like, this place fucking sucks, and I've never been back to Georgia since.
Yeah.
So, Quan, quick question for you: What did you do at Clemson? What was your major and all that?
Sports management was my major at Clemson. It was one of those things to where, like, say it again.
Did you play sports there?
I did. I actually played football there, 2008 to 2012. We went to 2 ACC championships. We lost one against Georgia Tech, and then we went to. Did he get kicked out?
No, he went P.
Oh, then we went to another ACC championship, and we won that one against Virginia. Yeah, those are good days right there. Football days.
What years were those?
2008. I actually graduated early, went in early. But
was that the year with
2012?
Was that CJ Spiller's time frame?
Yep. I was there with CJ for 2 years. I was there with Andre Ellington, Jamie Harper, DeAndre Hopkins, Sammy Watkins, Taj Boyd,
boys.
Andre Branch. I don't know. Andre Branch played defensive line. Marcus Gilchrist.
Was Dabo there when you were there?
Yeah, Coach Winnie was the receivers coach though. First, he was my receiver coach, and then he got the head coaching job like in the middle of my freshman year. Actually, the last 2 or 3 games.
They took a head coach. They plucked a head coach from the receiving coach position.
Yeah, I mean he was already like the assistant head. He was the next man up.
And, was it the OC or anything, or was he the OC?
Nah. He was actually he wasn't calling the plays, but he was like the next man up. Anyway.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wasn't Jason Hopper there with you too?
No, I wasn't with Hopper. No.
Was you like before him?
I was way before him. Yeah.
Jason Hopper played at Clemson?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but he was a preferred walk-on. Yeah.
A preferred walk-on. What does that mean?
Yeah. That means that like scholarships are up and then people are like, coaches like, oh yeah, well we would like to see you play a little bit more so they're like you can walk on to the team. Like you don't have to worry about trying out and all that stuff. Normally you got to try out to be a walk-on. He didn't have to try out.
What's the difference?
He was only there for a year. He transferred.
Oh, damn. Okay. Everybody puts this big thing on it. Yeah, everybody keeps going, yeah, he played at Clemson. I'm like, oh, I guess he played like all 4 years. Apparently not. Shit.
But he probably didn't play a game.
Yeah. I don't know that he was around at a good time though. He was with some really good receivers. So it would have probably been tough for him to get on the field.
Yeah.
He was with some good quarterback. He was with a stacked team. So all odds as a preferred walk-on was against him. All odds was against him. So he probably suited up for a couple games. He was able to experience Clemson a little bit, and he actually when I saw him at MAC in 2 years ago, whatever that was, when I went 2021, a couple of those receivers that played there that was not big time. They got some good playing time. They were there watching him, supporting him. So he definitely kept in touch with those guys, and he made an impact clear enough to where those boys wanted to support him. So.
Hey Ken, do you want to know what his stats at Clemson were?
Yeah, tell me. I want to know.
Oh,
did you pull them up? I can pull them up on here.
2017, 1 year.
Oh, you talking about Hopper?
One reception, 4 yards.
I mean, that's something.
Dude, one reception for 4 yards in D1. I mean, I'm not saying I'm not a D1 athlete, but my man. Like,
and it's probably like a bubble screen too. That was probably like a hard play too.
Dude, that might have been in this fucking spring game for all we know.
No, it was probably like a non-conference game, smaller game.
But that is very hard to walk around and have anybody be like, oh yeah, like he played D1 college football at Clemson. Let's dial that back. Okay, let's.
I mean, he was the preferred walk-on, so the coaches wanted him. But again, we was on a stacked team, man. It was a stack. Well, he was on a stacked team.
It says that he had full scholarship offers to Appalachian State, which, I mean...
That's where he transferred to, wasn't it?
Is that where he went to?
Yeah, where did he transfer?
I'm trying to look at it now.
I'm finding out right now.
He said a whole bunch about God in his post, but I don't see anything about where he went. Did you find something?
It says Clemson. Let me go back another page. This is pretty cool. I love the internet.
Jesus.
Oh shit! Yeah, it just says Clemson. That's all it says. I'm not gonna.
So he might have transferred, but I mean, he definitely didn't transfer.
Or maybe he didn't. I don't know, but I don't. Did they say he was there for all 4 years? That's just what I heard through the grapevine.
I mean, fuck, dude. If I got into Clemson, played even like 1 year on the football team, and I wasn't going to play again, there's no way I'm leaving that school.
Oh,
unless I can't fucking afford it. But
I just saw the mystery. There we go, right there.
What is that? Where'd he go? Appalachian State.
So he initially went there, offer, unofficially visited, and then went to Clemson.
Attend Clemson camp. So, he didn't do anything.
Yeah.
He didn't do anything. So we can't necessarily walk around and be like, oh, Hopper played D1 football.
He did. You got to get it to him.
He technically did, so he had something that worked out.
Man, but like I said, it's tough. It's a dog-eat-dog world out there.
I mean, of course it is. But
so I know how it is. Like,
they're very. He sure as shit isn't the most famous wide receiver to come out of Clemson.
Yeah, I know how hard it is too. To especially play. I think he had Justin Ross, Hunter Renfro. He had a whole bunch of those.
Jesus,
he was never going to have a jump.
He was there with some dogs. He was there with some dogs.
Yeah, he wasn't.
Hunter Renfro is.
He's still
a
great.
Balding motherfucker, but he is
he's still great.
And he got that bag from the Raiders. I think the Raiders paid him like $90 million.
Oh yeah, his hands are like 100. He's the reason why we beat Alabama in the national championship that year. He was doing
I swore up and down that Bill Belichick was going to draft that kid in the first round. I was like, Bill, you can get your prototype receiver.
That was him
in the fucking first or second round. And he went to the Raiders.
Wes Welker type, straight up.
That's wild.
He's like 6'1" or something.
Like you see him now. I don't know how tall. I haven't been back to a game when he was there, but I think he's a little shorter than that. But he also don't look like a football player at all. Like you see him walking around.
He did not.
He don't look like a football player at all. So those were the good old days, man. It was a cool experience.
Hunter Renfro is 5'10". All right, fair.
Watch this. All right, so you got to rank people.
Yeah.
Yep. Go ahead. Go ahead, Marquan.
Let's just go. Give us, I should say, top 5 finishes for
me. Top 5. All right.
Male, female, and I guess teams go top 3. But
teams, I'm not really a huge fan of it. But all right, cool. I'm actually liking the way one of those Invictus teams looking. I won't say they're going to beat Mayhem, Rich's team, but I would like to see them give them a push run for their money. And I'm also a little bit biased because I saw them compete at Granite Games. Mm-hmm. And then also, what's the team Kelsey Kills on? I got them probably at number 3 doing their thing. I can't remember the name off the top of my head. So Invictus 2, Mayhem 1, and then Kelsey Kill team down there at number 3.
You think Reykjavik's going 4?
Oh, I forgot about them.
Let's see. Here we go. Let's see.
Ooh, that's a little disrespectful.
Yeah, let's see.
I'm gonna keep them out. I'm gonna go with 2 guaranteed, and then I'm gonna go with a dark horse. And my dark horse would be number 3. With
Hey man, you don't gotta tell me about leaving Reykjavik out. I fucking can't stand Thor's daughter.
He hates Annie Thor's daughter. I don't know.
I think
I like all of them.
She looks fake as fuck to me. I'm sorry.
You gotta give her a chance. Meet her first, maybe.
I mean, yeah, obviously, so that's one of the things is like when you meet some of these guys, I don't want to say it's like the fandom takes over and it's like there's just no way they could be like bad unless they like are just straight up rude to you. But I guess like from what I've seen from some of these dudes like behind the camera when I have gotten those chances, when you go back and watch the videos, it's very easy to be like, oh, I saw that and my brain told me to think differently than what I really think. And so when I see her stuff, I'm like, no, my brain says that girl is not who she looks like on camera.
She's cool. I mean, she's cool people. I met her at the
Probably
games. She's cool.
And she's a mom now, so it's like obviously she doesn't give a fuck what I think. I just think that you can tell that there's a I want to say that there's a sense of like, especially after last year and like placing third, that there's like that resurgence of actually I'm still very important in this, so don't forget about me type of vibe. And that's where
do you think that's her fault or CrossFit fault? Because they pushed that.
Yeah, they did push that narrative.
They did, but I also I don't think that she brought as much to the sport as they say that she did. I think like from the European and the Icelandic side, I think she brought a lot.
Pause. I think she did because the first time they had ring muscle ups in the games ever, she did 3. And she learned in the back. She went to the back and learned with her coach right before the event. And she's a female.
But I'm saying since the last time she won the games, right? I personal opinion, I don't think that she has made the impact on the sport that like the Cara Saunders, the Catrins, which granted she didn't even make that much of an impact, right? The Tia Toomey, obviously, right? But there's plenty of athletes other than Annie that I think that are females that have made huge impacts on the growth of the sport.
This lady had a baby, came back a year later and snatched 200 pounds. Cara Saunders didn't snatch 200 pounds.
Cara Saunders can definitely snatch 200 pounds.
You guys are naming.
She came back after having a kid and had just as much success, arguably.
But this isn't what you fail to realize is the consistency of her making it to the games is not that easy, bro. It's not that easy. I mean, like, granted, early in the sport, it probably is not the same as it is now because all athletes have evolved. But she's just consistent, you know.
So if you have to understand why I kind of think that she might be fake is as much as CrossFit pushed the narrative of her being like the baby face or like the whatever the fuck they called her. When you see somebody, somebody who had like a struggling story, like she in the most recent doc, she talked about like her pregnancy, and then she was like, I almost died, and I almost bled out, and all this other shit, and then like it was like 3 months later, I decided to pick up a barbell again, and then all of a sudden, I miraculously just started having all these great training days in a row, and it was fucking fantastic. And I was like, as much as CrossFit asked her some questions about that situation, she looked like she was so ready to fucking tell it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I mean, that's where my mind goes, okay, you're fake because you want to tell this story because you don't want it to go unknown.
True, because in the documentary, they had pictures of like video of them all like cursing, being human beings, essentially, not being like, oh, yeah, I'm sitting down talking about these things.
If you had Rich Froning get in an accident, right? Yeah, some people might know about it. Morning Chalk Up maybe throws a fucking article about it. You know what he's going to tell every fucking press person from CrossFit across the globe? Buttery Bro, stay the fuck away from my house. Nobody asked me for a fucking interview. I'm not telling anybody about anything. I'm going to start training in a couple weeks when I feel better, and we're going to come back to the games, and I'm going to fucking whip everybody's ass. But there's other people in the games who, as cool as they probably are, they're people that when they see the limelight, they run to it.
All right, so you don't like that narcissist personality trait she got. So that's why you hate her. That's why you hate her. All right, cool.
All right, so who are your dudes? Oh, go ahead. No, finish what you say. Go ahead, say what you say.
Nah, we good. My dudes, I'm gonna go with the dark horse in the OG buddy of mine for the longest. I'm gonna go with Patrick Vellner squeaking out Justin Medeiros this year. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna put Patrick Vellner at number 1.
You don't think he Vellners himself in the first event?
No, I don't think he'll do it this year.
You don't think he'll do it? I think he will.
Think so. If he doesn't Vellner the first workout, he's fine.
Bro, he had the easiest semifinals, and I'm just gonna call it how it is. So he is going to go into this thing way more like it's going to be smooth for him, way more fresh. You know what I mean? Like, and that's the thing about semifinals. It's not about how you get to the big show. You know, if it's the easiest route to get to the big show, as long as you make it to the big show, you perform at the big show. I got Patrick Vellner going at number 1. I got Justin Medeiros definitely at number 2. I got Brent Fikowski squeaking in at number 3. I got Noah at 5. And then for something different, I'm going to go with Jeffrey Adler at 4.
I can see it. I see it.
For something different. And a lot of people talking about Gee, but I got a feeling that he ain't going to get blessed with these strength events like he did last year. Dude, they had 3 or 4 strength events last year that like he got 100 points on. And granted, he's really good at everything else, and he's getting better at a lot of things. But I feel like those strength events might have helped him a lot. You had those heavy thrusters. They had 2 clean or run clean. They had another clean and jerk and snatch event or whatever. It was just a lot going on that played to his favor. And I feel like those points were easy for him to rack up. I would like to see Roman
third or second this year.
You give Gee 3rd or 2nd? I got a lot of people doing it. See, just about that anything you just got finished saying.
I'll put it this way.
I give him 3rd because he trains at Mayhem.
No, give him 3rd because CrossFit's hyping him up right now.
No.
But you didn't like that. When you talk about a guy that's like, look at his social media. I mean, he gets on the gram and he is just like.
That's true, but
goofy.
It's goofy. It seems like it's coming from a fun place, not like I'm trying to make money off of my fucking thing. Like he fucking does TikToks with Haley Adams.
True.
He acts like, and like, granted, it's in all their videos and shit, but like he seems a lot like me. Like when he gets to the gym, as much as it's play or like work hard, he's fucking playing hard too. So it's not like, hey, I'm super serious business person, and then I'm this fucking joker on the side. It's all jokes.
He's enjoying it all the way through.
Dude, for sure. I think I know I sound biased with this, but I think Tudor might end up in the top 10.
Tudor top 10?
I think he might end up in the top 10. Just some weird happenstance, like something.
Top 10? I could see that.
Because how do you go?
I just need him to place well enough so he can get Rookie of the Year. That's all I want him to do.
Yeah,
I just hope he just get Rookie of the Year because. And it's a lot of guys in there he might even, I don't even know who else is in there that's relatively new, but you just got to beat him out.
Roman Krinikov is there. Yeah, him and Roman Krinikov pretty much.
And Roman talking crazy too. He said he going to win the games.
You want to hear a real dark horse?
What?
Yeah.
Number 2.
Who? Him?
No.
Oh.
Ricky Garrard.
Oh.
I think he brings it to the games.
Do you think his judge is gonna just hate him because he did drugs and like fuck him over? That's possible.
I hope his judge just sit there every fucking.
I think that's behind him now.
Cater.
But I feel like the showing that he put on, he looked human to me. And the guys that are like top 5, the guys that are top 5 don't look human to me. And I'm not saying
I can see it.
Like I'm not saying like they look like they on steroids type. They just look like they so far ahead of everybody else. Yeah. I don't see that from Ricky right now.
Like now, metabolic conditioning, they're just so far ahead.
Like everything, you just tell they.
I just see him. This might be a year where because Dave Castro's not programming, if I had to put a bet on a year to like you could make a move into like the top 10, it's this year. Yeah. And that dude, if he just lifts a couple heavy weights and he executes well, hey,
who knows?
And like you said, if there's one cut on Saturday, if you can make that cut, you have a chance to make the move on Sunday. If somebody else just happens to have a bad day,
I really do think that Patrick has a good shot at getting number 1. Like I don't know why. Like I do know why. I'll defend it because he's consistent. As long as he doesn't Vellner the first fucking event, I call it Vellnering. It's a fucked up term, but like as long as he doesn't do that, dude, if he can get a top 10 finish in the first event, he's straight. He is gonna be fine. He can push Justin to do whatever. And I think that so Pat number 1, My number 2, I got to give it to Justin because he was champion last year and like he knows what it feels like to be there.
Well, don't just
number
give it to him. Give it
No, I think it is. I mean, like he's a consistent trainer. And you don't see him posting all over Instagram. It's usually people that don't put anything on Instagram that usually do the best.
I mean, because Justin Medeiros, for lack of better terms, he whooped at the fucking Rogue Invitational.
Oh yeah, he did really well.
And that was a solid year and a half ago, though.
Yeah, but that was last November, so that was like 9 months ago.
My number 3 is Roman Krinikov.
I can see that too. I like Roman.
Number 3 is Roman. My number 4, it's fucked up. I think it's Jeffrey Adler.
That's a good number 4.
But that's the same thing I said. Yeah. Or I
said no. Strong.
I can't remember.
And then number 5, that dude.
Oh,
Saxon Panchak.
Yeah, because dude, why you say that, Quan? Why you say like that? Go ahead, defend it.
I got you.
No, man.
He's another mayhem guy. We got believers.
He's good, man. Those guys are really good. I agree with you.
Yeah.
Do you think
I can see that? Those Panchak brothers, man, they are strong. They gonna push for sure. I could definitely see top 10 for that. Man, who knows? Anybody can win it on the guy's side.
Well, all right, go to the girls' side.
Madero's definitely probably gonna be the one to win it all. But like all those names we called, they got chances to be top 10 or if not better.
This is a stacked fucking class.
This is really stacked. There you go, Quan. You first again. What?
And I hate this. I want to say this out loud. I feel like if Mal beats Tia, that'd be good for the sport.
Yeah.
It'd be good for the sport. I say that because
I don't know.
If Tia wins this year, I feel like she's gonna retire.
No, I don't think she will. Keep going to.
If she wins it this year, I think she will retire. I'm not saying I'm right on that. Who knows? Not really. Whatever.
She has 5 straight, right?
4.
She what?
She has 5 straight, Ken.
I thought it was 4.
No, it's 5 now.
Yeah, I think she's 5.
She matched Matt.
Because when Matt hit 5, she hit 4.
Oh yeah, and then she won again.
Mm-hmm.
But then her dominant fashion though was semifinals, bro. Not losing one event.
And you see that long chipper they had. She looked like she just walked through it. And I was like, I looked at dudes and other women. I was like, they were struggling to do burpees. They were hurting.
The fact that she could do bobsledding this like practically like half of this fucking season, and then just like walked into Rogue Invitational, just nonchalantly was like, "Oh, hey, I was in Europe for fucking."
She started training a little bit,
right?
You know she
started training a little bit, but like
it wasn't.
Even after that, like she kind of like nonchalantly walked out of Rogue with her fucking winnings, went back to Europe, went around the globe to Asia, did a whole bunch of shit, came back for another competition, and then fucking did Tyrion Pro. And it was just kind of like.
So who are your top 5, Quan?
She like crushed it. All right. Everybody love Haley Adams right now. Is this whole mayhem thing?
No. Have you seen the new like or recent pictures of Haley Adams?
No, I haven't.
She looked. Yeah, look it up. Just like Haley Adams' most recent. She looks fucking ready.
So you think it's gonna make a difference for like you think it's the strength?
If I had to guess, she has made leaps and bounds compared to last year. I don't know if that's the most recent picture. I saw a different one. Maybe it's on her Instagram. I don't know. But there's a picture of her outside her garage.
I saw Morning Chalka put her over Mal.
I mean, yeah, because experience. Yeah.
No offense to Mal, and I'm sure Mal could give her a run for her money. But if I had to bet, it's going to be Haley Adams.
Hold on. Let me go find
That's crazy.
Let me go. My crazy ass dog is in here. Let me go to Instagram and see if I can find all her recent pictures.
All right. I'm going to go with number 1.
I mean, she still look kind of skinny. I mean, big biceps, not it.
Okay, but then if you, I'm just saying,
like she got some abs now. I mean, she been had abs.
But I'm just saying, like if you look at her arms, like her arms look bigger. I think clearly she's probably like none of these women are gonna get. She's not gonna go to like Danny Spiegel size, where she just has like quads the size of watermelons that can like, squat a brick shit house, but. She has not looked that jacked before. Granted, she could just be very.
I don't think I've seen her with her shirt off. As weird as that sound, not trying to be weird.
That too. But if I had to look at her and then I put Tia Toomey next to her, she looks rather close in like just eye test of like, I'm not saying she's going to beat Tia Toomey, but I think she can hold her own more so than the last couple of years where it looks like she may have just squeaked in.
Yeah.
So you got who is number one? Mal?
Yeah, okay.
That's what I want. But realistically,
You know who it is.
I'm gonna go with it.
Nah, don't
go with it.
Don't shoot
Mal
from the
number
fucking
one.
hip.
Mal number one. Cool.
I'm gonna go with Tia number 2.
Jesus.
Oh my God, there's no
Mal number 1,
way.
Tia number 2, and that's gonna be a dog fight.
Yeah.
No offense to Mal. I think Tia outlifts her in whatever strength event they have, and it's
Well, yeah.
But I'm saying, like, I think that'll be the separator. It's going to be the.
I think it's going to be a heavy overhead squat this year because they haven't done it in a long time.
Ooh, that would be good. That would be really good.
Yeah.
But I'm saying the consistent weightlifting of like some events where it's just like it's above your 60 to 70%. So like a lot of the females I think have struggled in those events where it's like the run in clean and jerk last year. A lot of the women suffered under that because they just didn't run and ever weightlift in the same workouts.
Yeah.
That is something that Tia clearly does head and shoulders above everybody else. So if I had to guess who can move a heavy dumbbell, who can move a heavy barbell, who can do the other things in the middle, I'm sure Mal O'Brien has been training super hard.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna actually retract that.
Okay. So Tia number 1.
I mean, you can't bet against the 5-time champ. That's like me betting against Tom Brady. I can't do that.
Yeah.
Unless it's Eli Manning.
I'm gonna go with Mal at number 1. I mean, Tia number 1, Mal number 2, because most people don't have that either.
Even if Mal gets within 100 points of Tia, that's a win. That's a dub for the whole.
Wait, you
fucking
think she's gonna get beat
side.
that bad?
No, but I'm saying as long as she gets within 100 points, it's a dub for the entire women's side.
Yeah. Okay. True.
Because then it's like, hey, she
can't.
The last like 2 or 3 years, she literally could rest and not like literally do the minimum work requirement and not finish minimum 2 events and still be in the lead.
True.
So who's your number 3?
I'm gonna go with 5. 5. I'm gonna put Brooke Wells at 5.
Oh, get the fuck out of here!
I'm gonna put Brooke Wells at 5. I'm gonna write this down.
Get the fuck out of here with that instant bomb.
No way. Give me a reason why you don't think so.
We're gonna do
She worked out with Tia, dude.
I don't give a fuck. So does her sister. And her sister was trash.
Her sister is relatively new to the sport, dog. Like she only been around for like 2 years.
Okay, and Brooke's been around. She's been around for like 8 years. Still can't do ring muscle ups on par with the rest of the fucking crew. Still can't squat snatch without fucking bending her elbow halfway.
I just realized how much shit Steve talked right now.
Yes,
like,
that's a genetic makeup. I mean, you can't really get.
Oh, she knows how to fucking run, but she also couldn't run within the fucking lines. I know 4th graders that could cover within those lines.
Jesus Christ!
Are you fucking serious? Not only dimension, but then afterwards cried about it because she got cut. Bitch, don't put your fucking foot on the line. Everybody knew it.
It wasn't. That's tough. It's true, but it's tough.
As much shit as I talk, Brooke Wells was my CrossFit crush. She was a girl that, like, after her rookie and first 2 years, I was like, this girl should easily come into, like, 3rd place, whatever the fuck it was. And then every fucking year, she did the same thing as Vellner. She fucking tripped over her giant ass that everyone's taking a fucking picture of to keep her relevant. And be like, oh, these CrossFit chicks with your fucking giant butt.
Dude, that shit drives me crazy. Like, you look on Instagram and, like, you see this girl with these pictures, and it's just their ass squatting, and they're like, why are you objectifying me? Stop objectifying yourself.
Well, first of all, stop wearing booty shorts that hike so far up your asshole
that I can see.
We know you're wearing them for the comfort reason, but still, okay, back off that because I don't have too much to say on that. The thing I do have to say about is the documentary this year where they fucking showed her gruesome injury and like
that was gross. They should have cut that out. I didn't need to see that
gross.
again.
Any elbows look the same.
Yeah, her and
Annie's reps don't count.
Why?
Watch it over.
No, because I remember Hayes was talking about it last year after the games and after that event, where when you bow like that and go behind the fucking shoulders and shit, there's something in the rules that talked about where her reps wouldn't have counted if the judges took a second look at it. Because the way that she, like those women move the barbell, like it's supposed to be positioned over your head, and most of them had it back here when they stood up, and they didn't show full control. Like You could argue certain things here and there, and like it's a matter of inches.
Nah, they were good.
But they fucking Annie's 200-pound snatch looked like garbage.
I mean, she still
Haley
got it
Adams,
over her head.
I'm surprised.
Yeah,
I'm sure she has a bunch of other shit over her head too.
Jesus Christ.
Haley Adams, her snatches looked like she was going to get buried. Okay. The only woman I've seen that snatches with correct form a majority of the time is Tia.
Yeah, I mean she.
But
she
even her elbows bow a little bit, and her knees for sure. But like they just kind of bow inwards. Brooke Wells, I do not like. I understand competitive fire, and I can plead with all the gods in the world on get me back in there. But you fucking knew your entire weekend that your elbow was on fire. And
if
you
there's a heavy overhead squat, I'm gonna be real scared for her.
You put a fucking sleeve on that bitch, and it's like, oh, it'll fucking be fun. I'm gonna.
Yeah, but I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do though. Like you gotta still compete. What do you want her to do? Not compete?
Because she's sponsored by Noble, she gotta compete. She got to.
But do you remember a couple years ago when Will Morad fucking like pulled his hamstring or some shit like that? Yeah. And he did the minimum work requirement, knew it was going to fall him out of place, right? And I understand you want to compete. I understand competitive fire at that level where it's like, fuck that, I'm not coming out. Again, one of the reasons why I don't like Brooke is
since Steve is go ahead.
I think she did it for the
his thoughts out. What's your number 4, Quan?
All right, my number 4, I got Laura Horvath. And then number 3, I'm gonna go with Cara. So Tia, Mal, Cara, Laura, and Brooke. Brooke is the dark horse for me.
I think I would switch. I really want to switch out Cara, and I really want to put in. As much as I don't really like her, just for my own prejudices, but Emma Lawson.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I was about to say this young lady right here is gonna be in top 5. I think
she is fucking phenomenal.
She's a fucking demon, man. You see, God.
But I could say some really mean things, but I'm not going to.
Don't say mean things. Be nice.
I'm not going to say those. I've said other ones, but I won't say those.
No.
I also kind of want to say Danielle Brandon would be a good one to go in that slot too.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah.
That'd be a powerful one.
Coaches at the last minute, she got a lot of stress. I don't know her situation, but it seemed that's stressful to me. That's stressful.
Yeah.
Like
Annie Spiegel though, I think she makes top 10 this year.
I give her that. I give Danielle Brandon top 10 as well.
Oh,
and I also give that girl, what's the girl name? That's one of the Sigma daughters.
This one right here?
Yes.
So
didn't she do well last year or something like that?
She did do okay.
That girl Ellie Turner too looked pretty strong. So I give her
Ellie Turner's not in. Is she in? Oh, she is in. Yeah, she is in.
She made
Ellie Turner. Oh, actually no, the other Thor, Helga, whatever that.
Thury.
Yeah.
No, it's in the Europe. It's in the Europe one.
In the Europe one?
She was right under the other.
Oh, right here.
Yeah.
Emma McQuaid also, I think, if I'm getting the right names to the right people, the Gabby
Magala, she's strong as fuck.
She is a very close second to Laura Horvath in like coming out of Europe, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Her and Laura Horvath seem very identical to me.
But it's kind of funny.
The way they move and the way that they are built, it's almost identical to me.
But this is almost hard to pick outside of the top 2 or 3 people. It's so hard because it's all random.
Yeah.
In reality, everybody is fighting for second.
With the guys, anything in the top 8, it's like it could be a wash up,
Yeah.
So I mean, I guess whoever has the better weekend, as far as everything hitting the way it's supposed to hit, then those guys will be good. Workouts playing to their favor or not, sick or not, whatever, stressors or low, whatever. Like
I think my top 5 for women, I think is going to go Tia, Laura, Mal. I kind of want to say Danielle Brandon at 4 and Amanda Barnhart at 5.
Okay.
I got Tia. We fucked up.
If you say Brooke Wells at 2, I'll punch you
I'm not
in the fucking dick.
So I got Tia, then I got Haley, then I got Danielle Brandon, and then number 4 I got Emma Lawson. Where's she at? Up here. Yeah, Emma Lawson, And then my number 5 would be Mal. I have a feeling that something's not good. Like there's going to be a running workout that doesn't work out for her, and it's going to get her a really low placement. And she
Who, Mal or Emma?
Mal. She has to dig out of a hole.
I could see it.
Running and strength mixed together.
I mean, the other thing is, again, with all these young women, like even Paige Powers coming out of Mayhem, I think that would be a dark horse pick. Bailey Rail, I think she'll probably be middle of the pack. But I think there's something about these young girls that people want them to be in the top 5 right now. And as much as Mal and Haley have been there and have like shown it at some of these qualifiers, once you step on, I've never done it, but once you step on the big stage,
you like stage fright?
Not necessarily stage fright, but like at that point, like you might just not be like, you might not have that time in the sport to be ready for it. Because the same thing with Danny, I would say about Danny Spiegel. She's been in the sport for a long time too, or much longer than these girls have, probably about almost twice as long. But she has not necessarily been on this big stage and this strong looking before. She's been there and kind of like squeaked her way in and was like, oh yeah, I'll just be happy if I, get like top 20 or something. And I just move up the charts a little bit. But now she's like, hey, I'm super strong. I'm super fit. But I've only been here like once or twice or on a team. So for her, it's like once you get to that big stage and there's nobody to like help catch you, you got to do it all on your own. It's not a qualifier anymore. I feel like at that point you might see some drop off in some of these new girls. Or who knows?
That's true.
Maybe all the cream rises to the top and all these young girls are just like, bitches.
The only young girl we got in there though for me is Mal. And I've worked out next to her a couple times and I wouldn't even say that. I honestly wouldn't even say the change up in coaching is what it is. To be honest with you, I would just say that she was headed in that direction regardless.
Yeah, it didn't matter who touched her. Like, it didn't matter. But yeah,
James had her ready, and it don't matter. Like she was headed in that direction regardless. So
yeah.
What do you think happens if? I'm not saying she's going to leave Matt Fraser, but I'm saying if they don't make a placement that more or less is like contingent with like what all their or like on par with all the training that they've done. I think
it'll show that whatever's destined to happen is going to happen. As far as like she left thinking that she was going to win it all, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And if she don't win it, it's going to show that through time, if she would have stuck with James, it would have happened eventually. You know what I mean?
What is she, 19? Like
18, 19.
18. She got a decade
18.
left, but she got a decade plus left in the sport.
She got a lot of time left. I don't think she can go anywhere. I don't see why she would.
Well, no. So I'm saying more or less like, does it?
Does it put a damper on the decision that she made?
Yeah. Does it kind of make it look kind of like, did you maybe jump the gun? Are you as good as everybody thought? Is Matt as good of a coach as everybody thought?
I can't speak for her, but.
No, you're obviously.
Like she was destined. She was destined for greatness either way. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, because some people are just gifted. I had this dude named Gary Seeger that was in my ROTC, my ROTC battalion, and the dude never got tired. I think if he did CrossFit for a while, but if he had stuck with it, he'd be on that list too right now. Because some people are just genetic freaks that just. Dude had a VO2 max of 72 and he didn't run for 2 weeks and he still came back. It was 72. And I'm like, people fight for that for life. Like that's ultra marathon status. And like, he could just walk in and do that at any time. Meanwhile, I'm over here sitting at a 45 and I'm dying.
I don't even know what it is. I think I tested that VO2 a while ago back at Under Armour headquarters in Portland. Mm-hmm. I can't even remember what it was.
Probably in the 60s, 50s, 60s.
I would probably have to look at that.
Yeah, but that's a big indicator, dude. That shit's insane. Like I remember getting my VO2 max at 52 last summer, like this time. Dude, I felt like I could never get tired. Imagine what a 72 felt like.
What's your VO2 max right now? Do you know?
Right now? Who, Marquan or me?
No, both of you.
I don't know.
So this is according to my Garmin, which I've only had for a couple of weeks, and I've only used it to the extent that it's supposed to be. For just a little bit. You're at a what?
43.
43. Yeah, it's
I'm
terrible.
at 45.
You're 45?
Yeah. But I mean, I haven't used this watch to its potential. Like most of the time when it comes to like working out and shit, if it's not a run or something, I'm really not using it. Like I'm not using it to track like regular Metcons or anything like that because I'm just like, I never have enough IQ to be like, oh, let me look down here and fucking hit the button and do all that.
Do y'all think the Garmin is accurate besides the tests that hook up to the face? Yes.
I would say for just a regular watch that you wear, right? It definitely does as much as the Whoop, and it gives you the technology-based side of like what an Apple Watch does. Plus, depending on which one you get, like if you got like the Phoenix or some shit, or the Phoenix Tactical,
I heard about that one.
You're getting everything known to man.
Tac maps on there, everything.
You can go to the middle of fucking Egypt and it'll pinpoint exactly where you are and tell you, like, give you a fucking roadmap to get home.
I had one in Afghanistan, and all I had to do was get off the helicopter, walk in a circle like twice, and it pinpointed me exactly where I was to a 10-digit grid. That shit was super within 10 meters. It was within 10 meters. It was crazy.
That's the Felix 7, right? Or whatever it's called.
Phoenix Tactical.
Phoenix Tactical. Yeah, it's got like solar battery power on it.
And it goes down to like some 500 feet in water.
Swimming. Yeah.
500 meters in water. Yeah. There's also like swimming apps that are like, oh, you're swimming against this much current. And you're swimming against
like what, $2,000?
Yeah, roughly.
No, it's like 700, 750.
No.
Wait, what?
Really? It's a $1,500 watch or more.
Phoenix.
But also, like, if you're in like special forces, I know my buddy, he's a tech out here. They give them out to every cadet.
Yeah,
that's legit.
Yeah,
that's legit.
Right. So,
it's $1,100.
I've also had the Whoop. The Whoop is by far one of the best. I could give them a whole fucking ad read right now if I wanted to, but we're not sponsored by them. But I would say it is the piece of equipment that takes you from being a good athlete, or you could say one that like qualifies for quarterfinals, and it gives you all the information you need to make the serious changes in your life to make it past or through semifinals.
Yeah.
But that's if you pay attention.
That is not accurate, but I'm not as consistent as I should be sometimes, so it could be me as well.
I don't think it's that accurate because like I put the chest strap on for the Garmin when I run, and that thing's like super accurate. Like it does my gait, my balance of stride length, pace, like everything. And then this one does my HRV in the morning when I wake up and everything too. So, I mean, and I got 8 sleep matches.
HRV as well.
I just can't see it I can't see it.
Yeah, you can if you get the Garmin Connect app, motherfucker.
To your Whoop?
No.
Oh, I know for the Garmin.
Oh, you're talking about the Whoop. And I mean, I guess, but like at the same time, it was nice when you have the Whoop on that, like there's nothing there to distract you.
Oh, fuck that.
So like, you're not constantly looking down at your wrist. You're not fucking checking it. You just have your phone. But then the shitty part was if you go on a run and you wanted to track your run, you have to take your phone with you. So that part I didn't quite like.
Yeah.
So, but it's much better than an Apple Watch and all that other shit. So, Quan, probably one of the last questions I have for you. You said sponsored by Under Armour.
Yeah.
What is that like, especially when it's one of the companies I would personally say, in my opinion, is on the outside rim of like the sponsorship companies involved in?
Yeah. So I got lucky with that. I think 2018, right after the games, I was walking around Madison, and one of the reps, Lauren, she came up to me and she was like, "Hey, Quan, we got a shoe coming out. We want to like really dive into the functional fitness space. Will you help us push that?" And I was just like, "Yes, I would love to." And she was like, "It is to be a paid sponsorship, partnership type deal." I've been working with them since 2018, and the training. We are now on the 4th version of the training shoe. Most people haven't even really seen it.
Dang.
So the first shoe was like, a good shoe, very minimal. I would treat it almost or think of it as a van. Second shoe, they made a lot of upgrades. Third, they made some upgrades. The 4th shoe that we have right now is amazing. And then now they're tapping into an Oli as well.
So pull this up.
I feel like
I don't know if they got it up. Do they have it up? What's the name of the shoe, Quan?
They don't have the Oli released yet, but the Tri-Base Rain is the Tri-Base Rain is the actual training shoe that they have. That's amazing. And then all of the clothes and stuff now are like top of the line, and they're training as well. It feels very similar to the that's it right there. So that deal came along, and then COVID hit, and then I think they also made a CEO change. So I don't know what happened with that or what they put on, where their priorities stand right now. I know they had to close a lot of stores. The stock dropped a lot during COVID. Now I think they're bringing things back up and getting back on track with a lot of things. But the Tri-Base Rain 4 is like an amazing shoe. I love that shoe to death. So
is it get comfortable?
Very, very comfortable. I wouldn't run a 5K in them or anything like that, but they're definitely good for your short runs. And like I said, they helped me out a lot tremendously through COVID as well. So it's one of those paid sponsorship partnership deals that I have with them, and I love them to death for sure.
Damn, I need one of those. I need to get off my fat ass to do shit. Jesus,
it's a dope. That's the training shoe there. But when it comes down to like the running, I use the Flow. I got the Flow 4s right now that are like super. Yes, velocity. Yeah, the one that is right. Yeah, those. But I got a different colorway. Amazing shoe to run in. They feel like almost like those Nike Epic Reacts. I don't know if y'all ever ran in those, but those are like a super light.
Those are nice.
Yeah, they feel good. And those feel good to run in. They're like better than the Nike Epic Reacts. So, but so that was how that came about. 2018, I started working with them, and then I had a manager. He was working with me, and then he stopped working with Under Armour. Well, he moved into a different department, moved to another manager, and she's amazing right now. So it was a good gig and fun. It's still fun, actually. Another thing that I do too is like, I don't know if you ever heard like a Lulu ambassadorship or whatever. How they do the photo shoots. They put their picture up in all stores. I was doing a lot of photo shoots at the beginning for them. I haven't done one in a while. I don't know if they're worried about travel still, but they shouldn't be. But I was doing a lot of photo shoots with them, and then putting stuff in the store, pushing the functional fitness space, as they like to call it. They can't call it CrossFit right now.
That's crazy. You just pile sponsorships on top of them. You're like, I got a yearly salary, dog. I'm good.
Yeah, but if it wasn't for them during COVID, I mean, things could have got tough because the business, we had to reconsider a lot of things. So
with the gym,
we made it out.
Stay open, or
we stayed open. Well, we were doing other things. The gym wasn't technically open. Fortunately enough, too, we also had a physical therapist attached to the gym, so he was classified as essential. Mm-hmm. So he was able to keep the gym open by paying a little bit of rent. So that helped out a lot.
Damn.
We got lucky with that as well.
I had a pipe dream once upon a time of opening a gym. No.
Yeah.
No.
I still want to.
My partner, actually the guy who really started it all, his name's Joe. He is the main man. I'm kind of just like very small percent owner of it, but he's the main man. He does a great job. And he's got a good marketing scheme going for the gym, and that's what helps us keep the doors open for sure.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Brains behind it. Yeah, he's the brains behind it all. I just kind of manage most of it and promote as much as I can as well. So,
well, you know what we promote? We promote good ass fucking sunglasses, man.
There it is.
Pull these things up, Ken. By the way, did you get my package, Ken?
No. What?
Those motherfuckers said that they sent the package to your house by accident.
When?
No, last week. They also told me they were overnighting them to my house, and they're supposed to get here tomorrow. So
yeah, so you're gonna have some tomorrow.
But they said that whoops by accident. I think we sent it to Ken's house, and I was like, oh, well, okay.
That's why.
Yes, so we are officially brought to you by Goodr. That is Goodr.
That was my marketing scheme, so there you go, bam.
Oh, Jesus. So if you didn't know, Quan, Goodr is also the official sunglass sponsor of the 2022 Noble CrossFit Games.
That's what's up.
So, the boys, we're slightly still amateur, but technically a paid podcast now, so you could call us professionals, but we're broke professionals. Okay, but if you are somebody who happens to be slightly broke, which we're not really broke in real life, but the podcast technically is slightly broke because that's well below the poverty line what we're getting paid.
Oh, dude, that's super.
But if you fall into that tax bracket, you can still afford these sunglasses though, which is the beautiful thing. First thing I want you to do, Ken, is pull up the blue light glasses if you wouldn't mind. Because I didn't know that this was a thing.
Yeah, I got a pair. I left them in the other room. I took them to work with me today.
So they now have blue light sunglasses, and it's pretty cool. I mean, obviously they made the sunglasses blue because, most people are kind of dumb and they wouldn't know to get the blue light glasses in blue.
Where is it at?
Makes it really simple.
Type it in at the top.
Why can't I find them? I just clicked it.
My fucking guy is absolutely dying right now.
Who, me?
Yeah, what are you doing?
I'm looking. I'm trying to find it. I can't find it. Oh, here we go.
So the blue light glasses.
There we go.
Ooh, that's a good name too. I think I need a pair of these. Hopefully it's in my box. It's coming.
It is.
Right. But the one thing I really like about these is the list on the side. Not only does it give you clear, most of these are $25. So if you are broke, you can still kind of afford these. Okay. They're very manageable price tag. Okay. It lets you know they're blue light blocking lenses. Okay. And then for regular heads, it'll give you your sizes and all that. But then it also tells you, hey, these are the kind of things around the house that you're going to need these for.
I got a big ass head, man.
For dopey guys like myself, if I just got handed a pair of blue light glasses, I'd probably wear them too much. But this gives you like, hey, when you're playing video games around the house or whether you're just doing shit around there, go ahead, throw them on there. It's not that bad. It's going to help out. Okay. The second thing is we're going to go back to the main page. And then, oh my God, this dog kills me every time when I see this dog's face. Okay, so go to the best sellers, or we can go to wild things. I guess we haven't covered that yet. So basically, Quan, if you want a pair of sunglasses, that kind of I know we'll ship you a pair.
Just send me your address.
Yeah.
just type DM me your address.
I'll DM you. Yeah.
And by the way, Ken, that dude that was in the chat that you're apparently giving sunglasses to, that was my best man at my wedding.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So fuck that guy. He doesn't need no fucking pair of sunglasses. He's fucking got money. He was on his fucking boat on his lake yesterday, having a good old fucking time. Maybe we'll send him a pair just so we can wear them while he's on his boat.
Just buy us some stuff. Buy us a boat.
I know, right? Buy me a gooder boat. Tag that whole shit up in gooder and just wrap it. But at least that way he can take pictures while he's driving his boat, and Gooder would definitely post the shit out of that. All right, so these sunglasses, I haven't seen these before, but this is pretty neat. This Carl Big Cat Sanctuary. Oh, shit. Well, either way, Quan, now you know we're sponsored by some sunglasses, but everybody listening at home, if you guys go over to gooder.com, okay, hit up all the different types of sunglasses, different shapes, sizes, the designs, colors, lens colors, polarized lenses. I know Liz says she bought 2 pairs. So, we're pretty cool. We're spreading the word, and we're hopefully going to make some money.
There we go.
But when you guys are done buying a pair, okay, we don't have a promo code for you guys yet, but we're working on that. If you guys do happen to buy a pair, though, when you're done, go down to the bottom of the screen, hit the Contact Us button under Get in Touch, and let them know the boy sent you. That will help us with this company maintain the partnership. We can keep working with them, getting people good deals eventually, which, again, like I said, we're working on getting the promo code. Hopefully something between 15 to 30% off. That would be pretty cool. But 15 to 30% of $25, I mean, you guys are paying. They might owe you guys money at some point. So if you guys are looking at this, just go through these different styles, go through these different steps, and then you guys should get, free shipping for anything over $50 or
Yep. So they got free shipping on anything over $50, $50 or higher, 30-day free return, 1-year warranty. Like literally you could tell them, hey, I lost my sunglasses getting chased by a fucking bear in the woods, and they'll go, all right, whatever, here's another pair of sunglasses. So yeah, and also they're good for the planet, man. They're carbon neutral. It's pretty awesome. I work renewable energy, help save the planet. Climate change is real. Fuck everybody that says otherwise.
And so other than these guys, I just want to give quick shout outs to Modballs. I've been trying to post about them as much as possible because they really set up my gym. We got 9 teams going to the BCS Classic now. And they sent out some gear for the first 3 teams. I didn't know that we had 9. I originally thought it was 3. Then it got moved to 6. Then a 7th team got their invite, and now a total of 9 teams are going. But they sent us, I don't know, some ungodly amount of bags of the actual product. They're sitting around at the gym at BlitzBelts CrossFit. So for anybody there who listens, go take not a bag, go take some of the singular mod balls in the pack. Okay, take a couple of those, try them out, post about them if you like them. If you don't like them, don't tell anybody. Okay, keep that shit to yourself. Nobody wants to hear your fucking opinion. Okay, and then when you're done, just come let me know so that I don't ever give you any. But Mod Balls has been excellent. They're helping out the whole group. And I know Liz and I will be rocking some Mod Ball apparel, which will be really nice. Not to mention the other one that I will say is, well, the other 2. BlitzBelts and O2, as much as O2 doesn't have a promo code with us, they sent us some T-shirts. They sent me a shit ton of product, which was amazing. No, well, BlitzBelts has sent us a bunch of belts, but O2 is very friendly. Gotcha. They did a lot of great stuff. As soon as they heard that I had never had any O2, I had I think 5 cases show up at my house in 2 days.
A lot.
So I used to work at BlitzBelts.
Really? Still, you know Kane?
Yeah, I know Christopher Kane.
Yeah.
Chris Kane.
Dude's a trip. We did an episode with him. We just shit talking the whole time.
I believe now I think we have 3 teams going that all have BlitzBelts on them. So
yeah.
Hopefully they get to be seen. I don't know if they'll be at that vendor village or not. I'm sure it'll be extensive because Mayhem's going to be there. But I think all these companies that we seem to get to work with are very humble companies with good people running them. And we seem to have very good partnerships with them. One day I just need to make sure I go out and buy a HeroBarbell, though.
You need to do it. They gave you the freaking...
I know they did. But
bro...
Ken, I now have to fucking possibly pay for part of my car to get fucking replaced. No,
you got to pay the deductible. That was like $500.
Some fat fuck from San Antonio decided to plow into the backside of my car's tail.
So you're telling me some fat fuck from San Antonio basically fucked your car?
Didn't you ever hear from Charles Barkley? There's just nothing but fat people in San Antonio.
No.
Well, one of these fucking fat people tried to attack my family car.
Take advice from Charles Barkley.
Yeah, Charles Barkley is a character, dude.
Yeah, he might go to Live Golf for some couple. I think it's almost 100, 200 million.
The commentate, right?
Yeah,
I heard about that. Yeah, I heard about that.
I hope he fucking does it. Good for you. He was talking a couple of weeks ago about how Michael Jordan and some other guys made out during their career 5 times as much as others.
Oh, you started that. You put that as made out with some dudes, and I was like, what?
No. Made out their entire career, they only made out with maybe $100 million. But then you got Michael Jordan making out with $500 million.
I thought you were talking about making out. I thought you said
Michael was fooling around with Dennis Rodman and shit.
Oh, Jamie Foxx and shit. Jesus Christ.
Let's get off here before I
yeah. Thank you for coming on, Quan. We appreciate it, man. That was an hour 47 of your minutes, and you can never get back again.
Nah, it's all good. We good.
At least he learned though that Brooke Wells does not belong in anybody's top 5.
I learned that Steve hates Brooke Wells. He hates
Annie,
and he loves mayhem.
Yeah, to death, boy. Man.
Possibly to a fault.
Oh my God.
All good. Hey, it's also nice meeting you, man. Ken, I'll see you on the flip side, bro.
Oh yeah, I'll see you. You coming to the games?
Probably not. I'm bitter about that shit. I only go if I participate.
You said the same. Leo said the same thing, man. Man, fuck y'all.
Yeah, we good.
Hayes coming. You need to come.
Nah,
Hayes is going?
Yeah, he's coming out there.
Of course, because he's in rear D right now. He's got nothing to do.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, we know what Hayes doing. It's like an old dipstick dog. Anyways.